straight from the moss-covered mausoleum into your living room, car, or headset. A spooky show, much too spooky for normal folk. For those who love all things spooky, welcome to Between the Stones.
What is up, folks? I am back. This is another episode of Between the Stones. And today, we're going to try something different. The last time we talked about the state of the industry, we talked about animatronics and retail and the impact of home haunting. So today we're going to go into something a little bit different. But anyway, I wanted to first off start off by saying thank you for all the support I got. This is, like I said, a new venture. Doing podcasting is a whole nother world. So I've got some really neat things lined up, working with some guests. And that part is not easy. You've got schedules, time zones, all these things to figure out. As we get those things ironed out logistically, we look forward to having some really cool guests on here for you. But for the meantime, we're going to cover some fun topics. Today, we're going to talk about really what gets you most excited for spooky season. Although there's so many things changing, I just thought this was a good topic as we are in the month of August and so much has already happened. You've had stores dropping all of these new decorations. You've had more stores than ever get involved in it. You see all of the haunts now, they're starting to release their schedules for the times they're going to be doing their shows. So many events that are coming up. So this is just a fun time. It's a fun time. And the one thing that's pretty amazing is that as time goes on, I'm starting to notice that every year it seems like the events start earlier and earlier. So spooky season seems to be doing this, kind of spreading throughout, which I don't really have a problem with. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. What do they call that? Spooky season takeover, right? But today, I just want to kind of find out from some of you, what are some things that you get most excited about? I can tell you for me, one of the first things that is exciting is being a home haunter and starting to plan the decorations and the designs that you're going to do is very exciting and stressful all at the same time. So, but it's a blast being able to get ready, collect things, change things up, start with new ideas. Is just an exciting time of creating something new. And you always want to tweak it. I know for us, I'm pretty sure everybody can relate to this. You don't want it to be the same old thing every time. You want to try something new. How can I recreate this and rebrand it and make it something better? So that is a challenge that not only home hunters, but pro hunters alike have that challenge. But the cool thing we have as an advantage of home hunters is that these are temporary things we're putting up. So we got to tear it all down at some point. So that gives you the opportunity to rebuild something brand new. So number one on my list is just getting prepared for the haunt season as a home hunter. Being a home hunter has a downside. And I'm wondering if any of you can relate to this. But the haunt season is exciting. There's so many things you want to see, so many things you want to experience. And at some point, you're just trying to find time to get the things done that you're doing and also have some time to take in some other things. So that can be a big challenge. Your friends call you and they're like, hey, we're going to this haunt. And you're thinking, I'm super behind on my project. I got to work. And you just feel kind of like the left out kid. So that is one of the downsides because you don't get to see and experience all the things that you might want to. But still, it's still awesome. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. It's a good problem to have. But another thing that is really exciting is just seeing the change of atmosphere. I'm pretty sure most people have apple orchards where you are, but the apple orchards, they open up and they have these donuts that are probably dangerous and probably hard to just eat one of them. But when those come around, it's spooky season. I won't say I'm much of a pumpkin spice person. Wait, don't hurt me. But I do love cider mill donuts, and I like cider too. So that can be a really enjoyable moment. And then you're out there at Apple Orchard. A lot of these orchards have events going on. We're actually going to be heading to two this year with Haunt at the Roxbury. We'll be heading to Blake's, which we're super excited about. I've never been there. And I didn't even know that they had a haunted attraction until we got a chance to speak with them. And they let us know that they do have something going on. And we definitely want to get a chance to not only experience it, but showcase it so you guys can see it too as well. So I'm really excited about that. And then also we'll be headed to a local, I don't know if they're a cider mill per se, but Pumpkin Factory, which is right in our area. We're looking forward to also checking out their event. You may have seen us in one of our videos here with Haunt at the Roxbury when we went to Wired's Orchard, which is right in our neighborhood. But that Wired's Orchard, you know, they get early in the morning, their bakery's open. They've got the donuts going. They've got all kind of stuff, cinnamon rolls, muffins. They've got their cider going. And then at night, they do night terrors, but they have pumpkin chucking. They have like these cannons that shoot out pumpkins. They've got like hay rides going. So it literally is an all day thing. That's a really exciting part of spooky season as well. So that's definitely something enjoyable. But what say you? What are some things? I'm going to put an email address here for you. Give us an email and let us know what some of the things are that you really get excited for spooky season. I'm really curious to see what some of the other things are that really, really fuel people out there. And we'll discuss those on the next podcast. We'll talk about some of the answers that come in. So do me a favor, drop an email here, or you can drop a comment because this will be on YouTube as well. And also if you are looking for a way to listen to this, we are also on Spotify. We're also on Amazon Music. We're working on trying to get to Apple Music and also, I believe, iHeartRadio. So we're working on those, but you can catch us on Spotify and you can catch us on Amazon Music as well. So hopefully you'll be able to pull this up while you're driving or things of that nature. So we've covered two. We've covered two of our hotbeds here. The first one was getting ready for the haunt and being a home haunter, getting ready to decorate and put together a production. That's exciting. Two was going to cider mills, getting donuts, seeing all the October festivities start. Honestly, they start in like early September. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these orchards start opening up pretty soon. So that's going to be fun. Another thing I think, and this is kind of one that I don't think many people think about, but one of the things I really, really enjoy, and I think this is why spooky season is as popular and as big and is continuing to grow the way it is. One of the beautiful things about spooky season is it brings people together. It really does. It brings communities together. It brings people together, and sometimes people who would normally not even interact with each other. So it's really cool to see that magic happen and to see people come together. I think everybody needs a break from all of the rigmarole that goes on in life, whether it's stuff and drama and social media, stuff in the news and drama, or, personal stuff that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, challenges, work, bills, things of nature. But I think one of the things that Halloween presents that makes it unique from any other holiday is that it is really all about the escape. For a moment, you're not thinking about any of those things. You're in a creepy graveyard and you're worried about whether some ghoul is going to start chewing on your brains, right? And it's just the adrenaline, the dopamine kicks in, and it's just a good time. The smiles, the laughter, the screams, those are addicting. And it is kind of the best drug that you could ever take. And I think that for me is one of the things that just makes this such an addicting rush that you just enjoy that entire environment of seeing that. So I really, really enjoy seeing the friendships that are made, the memories that are made, the laughter, all the things that go in involved. I know it's a scary time too as well, but it's the best scary fun you're ever going to have. So I think that's always an awesome thing. And sometimes I'm just going back through the wheel of pictures and video, and you just see all the memories. You have all these fun things that come and trigger you to just go, man, that was awesome. So I think that's really one of the unsung things about the spooky season that really is magical. I think that's one of the reasons I personally really love home haunts. And pro haunts are awesome because you're going to see a production at the top of its craft. So that's a beautiful thing. You're going to go out and it's worth its weight in gold. It's worth the money because people work their butts off to create an environment that you get lost in. For example, me and Jamie went to Hell's Gate, and you want to talk about a completely immersive experience where everything outside, the outside world disappears and melts away because these elaborate sets and pieces that you're walking through they just suck you in, and you're now in a story, so that's worth its weight in gold. So that is the beauty of going to some of these pro haunts, is getting a chance to experience the craftsmanship that goes in at a high level in some of these productions that you see. But I tell you what, home haunting isn't far behind, guys, because I've seen some pretty immersive environments, even in home haunting. But one of the cool things is that you see that community. You see people coming together. People are volunteering. And a lot of times you see these home haunts, they're doing something for charitable reasons, whether it's to feed the homeless, whether it's to help animals get adopted, whether it's to work with a battered women's shelter, whether it's, you name it. There are endless, whether it's for cancer research. I've seen so many good efforts to really build up the community. And it's something that people can get behind and feel good about. And like I said, it brings people together. That's the beauty in home haunting, is that you get to see the community in action, coming together, talking, laughing, spending time. It's a beautiful thing. So, and honestly, I think home haunting helped a lot of us out when we went through COVID. COVID was brutal. It was brutal for all of us. People lost folks. You turned on the TV. It was not good news. So when Halloween came around, I always said Halloween saved COVID, because it was a moment of escape where everybody forgot about the crazy stuff for just a minute and we enjoyed ourselves. So in the first year we did it, our big production, it was actually COVID, and we actually had people walk up to us and say, thank you. Thank you. We needed this. And, you realize how powerful it is what you're doing at that point. So if you're a home haunter, and even if you're a pro haunter, know that you do magic in people's lives. You do magic in people's lives every day. So what you do creates memories, long lasting memories. And like I said, friendships are made, so many things, so much good comes out of it. So, but anyway, so that's the other piece. What are some other things I get excited for spooky season? Believe it or not, it's crazy, because you would think more horror films would come out right around the late September, October, but they're pushing them into really weird places. Like I've seen horror films that open up in April, which you're just like, why not save this? And I guess, there's probably a lot of competition around that, but obviously one of the fun things to do is kind of get your movie playlist together. So speaking of that, what is your playlist? What are your go-to? And I'm going to say 5, so you don't have to do too much thinking. What are your 5 go-tos? But I tell you, one of my favorite things to do is sit down with Jamie and we'll basically look at spooky movies. You know what I mean? And honestly, I don't have to wait till spooky season, but it just feels right at that point. You have the ones that you watch that are for tradition. Like, we watch this every year. For Jamie, that's probably Hocus Pocus. She's got to watch it every year. So you have those that are just, your tradition. I need to watch those. For me, it's Trick or Treat. I think Trick or Treat is, a way to bring in the spooky season. And then you have the ones where you just want to find something that gets the goosebumps going, gets the hair standing up on your arms or wherever. I can't say hair standing up on my head, because that's no longer That's no longer an option for me. But but yeah, spooky movies, horror films, these are fun. And I think me personally, my spirit animal when it comes to horror movies is really kind of the paranormal, unexplained type stuff. Those are the ones that really do it for me. Stuff like The Conjuring, Insidious, things of that nature, La Llorona, things of those things. Those are always, and I love the lore behind those. The narrative behind those too as well. I've watched some slashers. I'm not a huge slasher fan. I know that is a big thing. You know, people love Terrifier. Obviously, you have the legendary Michael Myers, Jason, things of that nature, which those are cool. And every once in a while, you see a slasher that kind of redefines the genre and does something new. Kind of an honorable mention of a few slashers we enjoyed. We saw Thanksgiving, and if you haven't seen it, my summation of Thanksgiving is it's just a fun, like, kind of movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. So it kind of has that Scream vibe to it as well. But really, it's just kind of like blood and guts and just craziness, and it's just fun. It's over the top, you know, kind of in Evil Dead type fashion. Not as tongue in cheek as Evil Dead, but it is kind of more dark comedy. So I thought it was pretty cool. And normally I'm not into those kind of movies for the most part, but I enjoyed that. So if you haven't seen Thanksgiving, I would recommend it. I think it's pretty cool. So, and then another one that was, I guess, could be considered slasher that I really thought was cool was the series that Netflix did called Fear Street. And I call that a slasher with a brain because it had so many cool elements, and the story and the narrative and the lore behind it was really well thought out, and I enjoyed it. So let me know what you think if you've seen those. But Fear Street was definitely one of my faves, and I'll probably start to throw that into that tradition bucket of ones that you want to watch again. So I'm currently putting my list together of movies to watch, but that is one of the things that gets me excited about spooky season, is sitting down and finding a snack that probably is super fattening and health destroying and putting on a good horror flick. So that's definitely something we enjoy. But that is another thing that gets me excited for spooky season. And obviously there are a ton of things, but obviously, we kind of hit on this the last podcast, but another thing that is exciting is basically getting a chance to get out and see what the stores are putting out. That is always exciting. I mean, it's such an event now. You know, you wait for Spirit Halloween to open up, and you know the funny thing is, even if Spirit has nothing that I want that year, I still need to get out there and see what they got. I still need to experience going into a Spirit Halloween store because there's something fun about that, just being there. You know, I mean, although Home Depot has some good stuff, Lowe's has some good stuff, Spirit Halloween is a whole different feel when you go into the store. You know, the feeling of kids getting scared, stepping on step pads, and just the music being way too loud, and seeing all the cool new decorations and checking out masks. You know, it's just a fun time. So I definitely look forward to that. And I'd say now more than ever, it's become really cool to see how many different stores are now participating in Code Orange. There's so many. I mean, stores that you never would have thought of before. But I mean, from the Dollar Tree to Marshall's, you can find something. I mean, I never thought Burlington Coat Factory would have Halloween stuff, but they do. And sometimes you find these really unique pieces at places like that you can't find anywhere else. So there's the hunt. You know, and if you're anything like us, you have to have that moment of inventory assessment where you go, I want some more stuff, but I got to get rid of some of this crap so I can bring in some new crap, but this old crap has to go. So let me know if you feel that statement. If you identify with that statement, let me know, because that's real first world problems for all of us. My shed's maxed out, our storage unit's maxed out, and everywhere behind the walls in our home is maxed out. So we actually did good this year in moving some pretty big size animatronics that we had moved on from. So that was exciting. But yeah, these are some of the things that definitely get me excited. And just to share with you, I'm going to cross lines here because this is Between the Stones, which is the podcast. Some of you, if you do, and we appreciate if you do, watch our other content on Haunt at the Roxbury, which is our YouTube channel, and we're also on TikTok and also Instagram. And Jamie has her own world. And that is called Jamie Loving All Seasons, which is also another YouTube channel. And sometimes those worlds all merge, sometimes. Because there's been times Jamie's released content on Jamie Loving All Seasons and it's been released on Haunt at the Roxbury. But, all of it's kind of a mixed universe. We all cross ties. But with that being said, another thing that gets us excited is seeing what other people have built and made. And two ways we do that for spooky season is we get out to some home haunts, which is always high on our list, get out to some home haunts. And this year we made it a point to get out to some pro haunts. We really are looking forward to doing that. Today I was going to, and I'm going to reschedule, I'll let you guys know, we were going to talk with Michael Kane from Fright Maps, and Michael is doing some revolutionary stuff with making haunt season way more accessible for people. If you don't have the app Fright Maps, do yourself a favor. If you consider yourself in any way spooky peoples, then you need to go and download that app. It is phenomenal. Right? And it gives you information based on your zip code where home haunts, pro haunts are in your area. So if you download the app and you turn it on, it's going to geo position itself and find out what's in your area. And it'll show you where you can go. It is really neat. And I'm really excited about what it's going to do for home haunting, because I still think there's a lot of people out there that just have not gotten exposed to home haunting. It's amazing how many people that live right in our neighborhood will come by and they'll be like, I didn't even know you did this. And they live right in the same neighborhood. But yet they're going out to other places to try to find stuff to do, but stuff is right there. So this app, I think, as it gains popularity, which it is really starting to pick up steam, will really help give more awareness of what's available. And the cool thing is home haunting is either cheap or free. So it only makes sense. So I definitely am really excited to have him on. We're going to be rescheduling. So we'll definitely drop some posts and let you know when that is happening. But getting back to what I was saying, we really get excited for going out to see what other people have built. That's half the battle. I mean, I really, as much as we enjoy creating and making our own production here, it's not fun if we don't get to see what other people are doing, because sometimes you just need a chance to fanboy out. And that's the best part of it. So this year we're really excited because we're going to be doing a series called Haunts of Michigan. And we really want to promote Michigan haunts. We really feel like Michigan kind of flies under the radar a little bit. We're surrounded by Ohio and Illinois, Chicago, Indiana, and they've got some really, really big haunts, and people tend to glaze right over what connects those Midwest towns, the old mitten state of Michigan, right? And obviously everybody knows about Erebus, one of the oldest haunts out there. Niles, one of the oldest haunts in the country. Everybody knows about Eloise, Eloise Asylum in Michigan. People know about Hush, so these are some popular destinations that people know about. But here's the issue. There are a ton, let me say that again. There are a ton of other operations that have been missed. And we really want to take some time and highlight those this year. So we will be doing a series called Haunts of Michigan, where we'll be going out to visit some of these productions and bring you some of the magic that Michigan has to offer. And also make everyone aware that this is a great spooky destination. If you are looking for a place that has a lot of good haunted attractions to choose from, this is a great state. Michigan is awesome. And we love traveling and getting to go to some other states and see things. But we also want to celebrate what we've got right here in the state that makes it special. So we'll be doing that, but we'll be also vlogging that throughout hunt season. So hopefully we'll be bringing you some really exciting content. We're super excited to be able to do it. And we're working with some of the hunt owners to do this. And we're really, really, really jazzed up. And as usual, we're always going to make sure we get out to some home haunts and celebrate some of the hard work and innovation of these home haunters that are out there. So we'll be seeing that. But that's another thing that really obviously gets us jazzed up for spooky season. And it also is something that is inspiring, gets the juices flowing. This is a great industry, by the way, the hunt industry. One of the things I love about it is how helpful people are. You have a lot of different professions where, it could be music, it could be a lot of things. People tend to gatekeep, and and I'm not going to say that doesn't happen in this industry, but it's pretty common to see people who gatekeep where they've got some information and they feel threatened. If I share this, somebody's going to try to outdo me. I have a different perspective on that. I think that if you're sharing information, then everything improves. And I do believe the tide rises and all the ships rise with it, and I do believe in an ecosystem, An ecosystem can't be one. An ecosystem is a system. So you've got more than one part or component involved. So no one can shine by themselves. You need a village or a group or a team, and you start to shine. The one thing I love about this industry is I've had so many people share helpful information with me on how to improve, build, or do different things or employ different techniques. It is amazing how rampant that is in this industry. People just sharing information, sharing techniques, doing classes, doing make and takes, doing all these things. And it's really cool because, like I said, you don't see that in a lot of industries. People become very competitive and kind of cutthroat, which to me is cancerous anyway. All it does is destroy everything. That's all it does. We really, really enjoy getting out to see what other people are building, and it's awesome. And it's even better if you get a chance to collaborate with some folks. That's even better. That's where it really gets magical. If people start to kind of work together. This year, we had the privilege of seeing, as we always do, Halfway to Halloween in Ann Arbor. And it was so neat because the show, this is probably one of the biggest years they've had. And one of the neat things in the show is they had different pro haunts come together to collaborate doing a walkthrough. Now, you've seen this when you watch Midsummer Scream. They were kind of, I'd say, the kind of trailblazers for this kind of phenomena. But you see the Cal Haunt group and Midsummer Scream come together, and Cal Haunt is a collection of home haunters and pro haunters that work together, and they do what's called the Hall of Shadows, and it is so cool. It is very cool. You've also seen that play out recently at Midwest Haunters Convention with the Chicago Haunt Builders Club. And we spent some time out there in Chicago last year, and it was really neat to see the camaraderie in the group and see how they work together. I really enjoyed that, and I really want to hopefully see something similar to that ecosystem happen here in Michigan as well. But it's been neat to see that and see the collaborations that are done with people of different talent levels. They all specialize in something. Some people could be great in makeup. Some people could be great in soundscaping. Some people could be great in building animatronics and pneumatics. But once you start to get all those pieces together, you do something pretty awesome. So anyway, that's definitely something that's really fun and I really enjoy. But these are some of the things that really get me excited when it comes to spooky season. So I am looking forward to 2024, and I look forward to some more engaging content on the podcast, like I said, we've got some really neat guests planned out for you, and I think it will be a lot of fun. But anyway, this is number two. This is the second episode here for Between the Stones. And do me a favor, please let me know how I'm doing. This is, like I said, it's new. There's a lot for me to learn. And if you have any constructive criticism, I would love to hear it so I can know how to make this better and more engaging for you. So we are looking forward to pushing forward with this. And as crazy as I am, I'm doing this. We're doing Haunt at the Roxbury vlogging. And somewhere in between that, we've got to build out our whole yard haunt. We've got to get that going. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but you know what? I'm going to have fun all the way, pulling whatever's left of my hair out. But anyway, guys, drop some comments. Please let me know what some things are for you, the really, really tipping points for spooky season for you. What are those things that really get things going that you get excited about? And then don't forget, I want to know what your playlist is for horror movies. What are your 5 essentials? What are your 5 essentials? So drop a comment, or you can email us right now. Pretty soon we will have a email for Between the Stones, but right now we're going to use the haunthattheroxbury@gmail.com email, and you can email or you can drop a comment here. So if you are listening to the podcast and you're not watching on YouTube, the email address is haunthattheroxbury@gmail.com, spelled out exactly like that. haunthattheroxbury@gmail.com. And once again, for you in YouTube land, we are also on Spotify and also Amazon Music. And I believe there are some other places that you can access this podcast as well. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to sign off, and I hope you guys are really excited for spooky season. And I hope you're out there getting some cool decorations, some cool decor, some cool cord oranges, and we will see you on the next time Between the Stones.